Let's talk about full moon in Pisces for 2025. Full moon means extreme reactions, responses, feelings, and emotions, and it can bring extreme feelings of fulfillment or extreme feelings of unfulfillment. It can also create extreme needs to chase after what you need in order to feel fulfilled, or extreme ways to protect what you already have that makes you feel fulfilled. And what it means to be full moon in Pisces. Well, Pisces is mutable water. It comes from the 12th house. It's ruled by Jupiter, co-ruled by Neptune. Venus is exalted in Pisces, and it's also the internal side of Jupiter. Being mutable means that it's an energy that associates, mix, and integrates, and also sometimes can create confusion by its own manifestations and materializations, and by others' energies, manifestations, and materializations. Being water element means it's all about feelings, emotions, the unseen realm, deep and purposeful connections, care and harboring of emotions, and absorption. Very important. Being from the 12th house means an access to a broader perspective about all the other houses, signs, and energies. This can be a power or an overwhelming situation. Also, being from the 12th house entails a deal with secret lovers, secret haters, also with secret supporters, or in many cases, you are not aware or they are not aware of that support, love, or hate circumstance. It's really about that unseen realm. You know what I'm saying? But it also deals with spirituality, the 12th house. It also deals with other worlds and the purpose of birth, life, and death. When I say other worlds, I'm not saying Mars and Venus can also be that, but it's also more the ability for you to see worlds within worlds, to see from which world that group of spirit is coming from, to see from which world that person and that expressions are coming from, for an example. Now, Pisces being ruled by Jupiter also means that it's all about expansion, traveling, wisdom, knowledge, and your personal testimonies. Stand by them, be your own Bible. That's more Sagittarius energy, which is also ruled by Jupiter. Pisces, more internal, a bit more private and personal. And speaking of that, being the internal side of Jupiter means that it's mostly about receiving yours and others' feelings, emotions, imaginations, creativity, dreams, illusions, and nightmares. And then integrating, expanding, and connecting with them internally, emotionally, and spiritually. The co-ruled aspect of Neptune means that Pisces energies as a hint of being aware and affected more by generational and archetypal feelings, emotions, dreams, nightmares, gifts, and curses. And Venus being exalted in Pisces means an extra and sometimes exaggeration, commitment, love, pleasure, and sharing. So, full moon in Pisces means extreme feelings, emotions, and reactions about yours and others' dreams, illusions, feelings, emotions, creativity, spirituality, pleasure, and connections. This can mean extreme illusions, extreme attractions, and extreme attachments from you or others. You might be the one extremely attached to a faith, to a substance, to a person, to a memory, to a relationship, or you can be attracting somebody that they are very attached to you or to somebody else and they coming to you for comfort or for expansion or for you to babysit them spiritually, for you to handle with their energy, because subconscious, their spirit is aware of you as like a station to process energy. And Pisces deal with this a lot, where some flunked out people or very rich people, quote unquote, but they can't deal with their energy or somebody else's energy. And then Pisces become the treatment station where a lot of people come in to talk and just be around the Pisces, and the Pisces helps them, not just the Pisces themselves, but the Pisces, especially Sun, Moon, rising, and Venus and Jupiter, they help others most sometimes unaware of that factor, they help others process and expand on emotions and feelings. Also, full moon in Pisces can mean extreme creativity or paranoia by using the extreme creativity against yourself or against others. On the other side, also can mean extreme self sabotaging energies or incredible pronoia. So it all depends on how you use your extreme creativity and extreme connection. Are you believing that the universe works with you, or you believe that the universe works against you? Do you believe that in some way, somehow, you're going to be punished by being yourself, by being your goddamn self, or do you believe you're going to be supported and expanded by being your goddamn self? You know what I'm saying? Also, full moon in Pisces can mean extreme spiritual fulfillment and clarity. If you know the spiritual basis, if you are a person that goes through life and derives wisdom and knowledge, if you learn from me or others out there that are real spiritual influencers, quote unquote, that bring spirituality into reality and don't take spirituality out of reality, because reality came from spirituality, so we can separate them. We create this reality through spiritual agreements, through spiritual power. So it doesn't make sense to remove one from another, because the spiritual community and astrology in general has been suffering from a lot of actors and people representing the wisdom and knowledge with very illogical takes. And that's what I come in as well. But that's for another video, here to counterbalance that a little bit. But full moon in Pisces can bring extreme spiritual fulfillment and clarity, or extreme illusions casted by reality and others' dreams that might lead you to chase physical and structural freedom or sureness, even though it's not good for you or for your spirit. And that comes from the sun in Virgo. So if you are spiritually clouded and spiritually unsure, you will look for something real, will look for something in reality to make you feel sure, or to make you feel free, or to make you feel safe. But you might be committing too much time, too much energy, too much uniqueness, too much individuality. You might be allowing others to take advantage of you or somebody else. You might be enabling a toxic environment for you or others, just because you need that little bit of sureness. That usually means you don't have faith, or you creating too much self-sabotaging scenarios on your mind. So bring some clarity to your perspective by doing some chores, some cleaning, organizing something around you, organizing your mind, and remember to believe in all possibilities and to believe in your goddamn self whenever you are in doubt. And full moon in Pisces can also mean that you might be attracted or attracting extreme balance or extreme opposition with practicality, organization, safety, privacy, status, and pleasure that is being communicated and acted in mutable, flexible, or scattered ways. That's again the aspect of the sun in Virgo opposing the full moon in Pisces. And as usual, I took a tarot card for this alignment and we got the Hierophant, Taurus. So this means that we are more ready, or already you are in this state, which is to be deeply connected, deeply transformed into a desire, into a circumstance, into Taurus, some fixed, consistent, or stubborn situation that deals with reality, practicality, safety, pleasure, and maintaining those things. But the Hierophant lesson or warning sometimes is to remember that you are going into those desires, you are going into those very realistic and sometimes very dry, sometimes very bountiful situations to learn something about your spirit, to learn something about your creative genesis process, or to learn something about the environment and how spirits around you do their genesis. So go deep. It's full moon. It's okay. Don't go too deep because you're already deep more than usual. But always remember that you are the spirit creating the situation or associating yourself with the situation. You are not the situation, you are not the other spirits participating in the situation, and you are not the results, and you are not what others think about you or the situation. The situation in itself is a learning process for you about you as a spirit or about the spirits in your surroundings. Because it's very important to recognize in which space, in which spiritual neighborhood are you in, to understand how you can navigate and construct or not navigate or not construct with other spirits. And what's the best way to use these hierophants is with the deep blue dragon. So focus in your deep emotions, focus on your core set of values, focus in your own internal realm, and you'll be okay. Don't be exclusive about it, but focus on it. Now, let's see how the full moon in Pisces is aligning the rest of the natal chart. We have Mercury in Virgo opposing full moon in Pisces. So this means that you might be opposed or balanced by thoughts, ideas, and ways to communicate and analyze that are mutable, flexible, or scattered, and also that deal with reality, practicality, organization, and efficiency. And Mercury rules Virgo, but Mercury prefers, quote unquote, the other sun, Gemini, because it's more external, a bit more logical, a bit more free. But Mercury needs Virgo to keep it grounded, to keep it real, to keep it focused on value. So Mercury itself, or the spirits that behave mostly in Mercurial like ways, might be a bit more relatable to the Pisces energy than usual because of that need to process and expand the purpose and the wisdom of the facts and the realistic situations on an internal level. Then we have Venus in Leo in conjuncting, aka misunderstanding the full moon in Pisces. So you and others might be misunderstanding extreme illusions, extreme dreams, extreme creativity, and extreme spirituality, and extreme feelings and emotions in general with relatability, pleasure, association, and commitment made and shown in fixed, consistent, and stubborn ways that deal with individuality, creativity, spirituality, pleasure, validation, and being gullible. And where is the misunderstanding coming from? The purpose, the depth, the emotion, the care, and the commitment. Because remember, Venus is exalted in Pisces. So Pisces also means extreme commitment, while Leo, it's a bit more surface level. It's a bit more of a commitment to the image, to the expression, or to the being gullible, to be a part of something or to receive good light. While Pisces sometimes they're not crazy, but sometimes they wanna show others their crazy side so they can be sure that whoever is connecting with them is for real and not just attracted by a pretty light. While Venus is Leo, it's all about being attracted and committing with the pretty light. But where is the common ground coming from in this in conjunction? The creativity, the pleasure, the vibes, the attention, and the communication and connection. Because Leos, even though they can be very egotistical, just like Aquarius that can be very loner and by themselves, they always look for some connection. Then we have Mars in Libra also in conjuncting and misunderstanding full moon in Pisces. So this means that you and others might be misunderstanding extreme feelings, extreme emotions, extreme creativity, dreams, and illusions with new, more sophisticated, more logical, and relatable ways to communicate, think, and analyze about passion, frustration, anger, motivation, and deep desires. Where does the misunderstanding coming from? The expression, the logicality, the outgoingness, and once again with the level of care and the level of depth. Pisces care way more and they go way deeper than the Libra energy. But when it comes the balance point or the meeting halfway point, just like Leo, actually, the sophistication, the beauty, the light, the attraction. Then we also have Jupiter in Cancer trining full moon in Pisces. This means a gift to expand, travel, and obtain wisdom and knowledge from or about the extreme feelings, emotions, illusions, and dreams for the full moon in Pisces. And then you can expand with new emotions, new feelings, and new spiritual and emotional purpose and spaces of comfort. Then we have Saturn in Pisces coming from Aries, but now it's in Pisces, conjuncting the full moon in Pisces. So this means you can build associations, limits, boundaries, networking, and status out of extreme feelings, extreme emotions, extreme dreams, illusions, and creativity, or you and others might feel extremely blocked, extremely separated, and extremely limited when it comes to express and make real your dreams, illusions, imaginations, feelings, creativity, and spirituality. And those limits and boundaries, those connections and support systems might be an illusion as well, or they might be extremely spiritually profitable. Then we have Neptune in Aries, fatal attracting the full moon in Pisces. This means that you might be reacting or overreacting in mutable emotional and spiritual ways to yours and others' new expressions, new feelings, and new awarenesses about or from archetypal and generational curses, gifts, illusions, and dreams. Then we have Uranus in Gemini squaring the full moon in Pisces. This means learning how to bring and see change, uniqueness, and rebelliousness in a more logical, surface level, and gossipy way. So, learning how to do that while reacting and responding in an extreme way to yours and others' feelings, emotions, deep connections, and deep purposes. So the learning process here is learning how to keep that deep connection and that deep purpose while bringing or seeing change, rebelliousness, and opposition in a lighter way and communicating or receiving that communication in a lighter and more surface level way as well. And lastly, but not least, we have Pluto in Aquarius, fatal attracting full moon in Pisces. This means you might have extreme feelings, extreme emotions, extreme dreams, extreme illusions, extreme senses of spirituality or creativity about associating yourselves or being associated by unique minds, unique circumstances, or unique thoughts and ideas that you feel like can lead you or can bring to you aspects of the new world where the focus will be unique mentalities, unique expressions, unique structures, and also limits, boundaries, and sacrificing that can lead to progress where everybody can be unique and individual, or everybody can be associated by unique and individual minds and circumstances. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I wish you the best. Until the next time, see you soon.